Oh goodness, here we are, guys. Game 6, the final game of the Order and Chaos Fight Night. My goodness, we have a switch up, my Titan versus your Valencia. Tim, of all the decks that were played during this series, I've seen your deck list. You guys can catch those deck lists here, up here, or down in the video description. And I gotta say, it's the most interesting deck of all the ones that I've seen.
I would agree with that.
As far as deck is. Now, this is a dyed in the wool? Is that a thing that people say?
Yes.
This is a tried and true combo deck.
It is a combo deck.
There is nothing more to be said about this deck.
I was inspired for this deck by Joe Freeman.
Our favorite, your manager.
He's my manager. Yeah. Style and Joey Miles. That's what we call him. But he had a deck built that was very similar to this. I think there's a few different cards, a few different tactics.
Ways to accomplish this, I should say.
But essentially the concept of the deck, or the game plan, if you will, is to, in one turn, access the top 15 to 17 cards of the deck.
Yeah.
And then the bottom 16 to 18 cards of the deck.
That seems good.
And then win.
That seems like
that's the plan. And in testing, it's been able to consistently do that by turn 11-ish.
Wow. That's fast, man.
Ish, depending. If I draw what I need to draw when I need to draw it. If I get my Duggars early, or if I get my Gens early, it helps a lot to just speed up the process. Duggars is money in this deck.
Yeah, well, it's got comboed in all over.
Origami is in this deck.
Ooh. We're doing some experimental jazz here, man, but it works.
It does work.
I feel like it seems like there's no real... So you're coming into this game. What do you look? What's the game plan for the combo deck? What are your pieces? What's your order for people looking to play it at home?
I'm essentially looking to have an incubator installed, ready to go, with 4 counters on it is what I want. Any more than that is pie. That's the thing people say, right?
Ah, yeah. Pie.
I had one game a couple days ago where it had 8 counters on it.
Yeah.
My opponent lost that game.
Yeah.
So you have an incubator with 4 counters on it is your ideal number. And then you have a Darwin installed as well.
Okay.
If you need it. Then you mass install medium, Hive Mind.
Okay. See where this is going.
You have a Grimoire out as well, ideally.
Yeah.
So Hive Mind comes in with 2. Then you move those 4 counters to the...
move them to the Hive Mind.
Hive Mind.
So we're at 6 counters on every
medium
virus.
And Darwin.
Okay.
And you're gaining a click back from your auto-scripter.
Yeah.
Installed.
Dude, it was killing it, man.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
And then you blackmail R&D. Each medium gets another counter.
Nasty.
So you go up to 7 on each of them.
So you're accessing a ton of cards.
Yeah.
Access a ton of cards at the top.
And then you showing off the bottom of the deck.
Boom. And then you get in with like Eater or something, right? Is that the idea?
Darwin.
Yeah. Darwin.
That has all the counters on.
That's right. All right, so you need a lot of money. How you getting money?
Katie Jones. Katie Jones. Day job.
Just pump it up while you're getting your pieces
all
going.
The pumps. I'm also running Amped Up to get extra clicks on the turn if I need them for more runs even. So you can do the combo earlier with less incubator counters. You can just run more.
All right.
I'm running 1 Deja Vu. It's the only recursion for blackmail I have in that deck.
That is an important point. I was about to call you on it. So you're running 1 Deja Vu. Mm-hmm. Now here's the interesting thing about going to a game against Valencia is you got to think there's 3 blackmails, 2 to 3 Deja Vus, maybe 2 to 3 same old things. So going into this game, I'm playing Titan. And so I'm going to ice up Centrals, doing the same kind of thing. Got a Project Atlas that I can chain out. Also interested in Chronos Protocol in this deck, because I feel like with Max, and even with so much recursion going on in NRP and so popular, being able to score Chronos out of hand is significant. Mm-hmm. So I wanted a couple of Chronos going into this match, and then just kind of got your standard agenda spread, doing some Jackson Howards, wanted to try Markiel out, got Trick of Light going, and also some Matrix Analyzers. Wanted to see how Matrix worked in this deck. I thought it could be pretty strong because it's an on-access kind of thing, or whenever you see the ice.
On encounter.
On encounter. So I figure, well, if you're doing Eater Keyhole stuff, at least you'll still encounter the ice. You can't just break it like you could something else, like a builder. So that's my plan, and we'll see. As it turns out, going into this now, thinking about it, that's going to be hard because you're probably blackmailing, and it's a combo deck, which I didn't know for a while. And then I started being like, oh my god, this is a combo deck.
You knew it was a combo deck when you saw the Surge.
Yeah, and then I was like, what's happening?
That's the piece I didn't mention. You Surge the Hive Mind as well.
That'll do it.
So you move it to 6.
Just for added security. And you don't need to, but like if you have it, it's awesome.
Ideally, this is all ideal.
And so I didn't know, like I'd never seen this deck before, so I started kind of like not knowing. I didn't know where to put ice, so I just started trashing ice and trying to score stuff out really quick. And we'll take a look at this thing, guys. Let's go into game 6 and just do it.
Enjoy it.
Just do the thing.
It's gonna be fun.
It's a long game. It's an interesting game. It's a weird game. I think mistakes were made on my end for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But going back and doing this again, I think I could do better, and hopefully Tim wouldn't draw anything awesome the next time either. So here we go. Game 6. Check it out. Valencia combo versus Titan Transnational. All right, guys. Here we are at the final round of Fight Night.
Friday night,
Fright Night. I am Steven.
And I'm Tim.
And I am going to be playing some Titan Transnational this round.
And I'm going to be playing some Valencia Estevez.
Absolutely. Now, you heard from Tim and Steven in the pregame report about these identities and kind of what is being intended, and not a whole lot of surprises or tricks here. I'll tell you the one thing that's a big surprise to look at, as we mentioned, those blackmails. You got to honor them.
You have to honor them.
And let me just plant an idea in somebody's head. You've got to honor them no matter what you think the deck might have in it or not have in it. Because it's just a deja vu away. If it's in the trash can, just deja vu away, just a same old thing away, just a draw away from being able to get into any server.
Unless you remove that bad publicity.
Now, Tim, you were talking about the beauty of this deck, which is a combo-based Anarch deck.
It's really the first Anarch, or the first runner deck we have that is a really true combo deck.
A true combo deck. The clock is basically ticking
until I win,
and it's the medium bomb.
It's the medium bomb. In a perfect world, by turn 10 or 11, I'm going to be seeing the top 17 cards of the R&D and then the bottom 18.
Yep, that should win the game.
And that is the goal. And then I also have blackmails in addition to that for some remote pressure, things like that. But
there goes some showing off.
Some things have to line up. Ideally, I want to see a Jin as early as possible.
Yep.
And I want to see a Duggars as early as possible.
Yeah, both very important. Have not seen them yet. You've got Katie going, though.
Katie is also very important to get rolling early, so she can get lots of money on her. Because it's going to be expensive.
I'm over here on Titan, not really sure what you're up to. Seeing the Surge in the Discord, I remember that kind of being wait a minute, something weird might be happening here. There had been rumblings of this kind of deck that our buddy Joe had been talking about, who was actually your manager for this.
He was my manager. Styling Joey Miles.
Joey Miles.
He and I discussed this deck at length and tweaked it and made changes. And ultimately, this is the deck that we ended up with for this matchup.
There's Clone Chip.
Yep. I'm going to be drawing a lot, discarding a lot. Got to get things out of archives when I need them.
And the old Titan plan, of course, is to kind of straighten up those centrals. And you did the Constellation Ice way better than me. However, you aren't running at all. So it puts me in a weird position where I don't want to waste time advancing ice to make it cheap if you're just always going to be blackmailing. So I kind of stopped the advancement train, which is a bummer because I have commercializations in the deck. And it really makes it difficult for me to get my economic engine going because you're not doing the things that a normal runner wants to do.
Are you on Trick of Light here?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, 3 Trickle Lights. No recursion for him. I'm just hoping to get a
Jackson
advantage. Yeah.
So
got some Jackson.
Technically recursion.
A lot of people running archive memories out of this build.
I could see that.
And it makes a lot of sense. You could Trickle Light and then just keep doing it.
Blackmail. Scoring a Kronos Pro.
Blackmail sees a Kronos, and I am under the impression this is going to be a very important card for this matchup. I've got another one in hand, and 1 blackmail down. My goal right now is to get you to spend another blackmail, and then I'm going to try to Trickle Light out that second Kronos project.
And then get rid of all my blackmails. Or 2 blackmails.
I'm hoping to get rid of at least 2. If I could pull 3, it would be great. But that's my game plan.
You just want blackmail out of this matchup.
Yeah, because if I can get blackmail out of the concern pile, I mean, it's huge how different my game becomes.
Right. I'm still digging here, trying really hard for...
You're trying as hard as you can.
To find a Duggars or a Jin.
Crazy. 3 of each, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
3 of each, without a doubt. I want the Djinn so I can go get an incubator without
some
wasting
money.
my memory, and then continue ticking up incubator tokens. Incubator is a great card, by the way.
It is an excellent
in case anyone
card.
was curious.
It really puts the pressure on in a very passive way. Terrifying.
If I play an incubator, there it is. You're going to eventually purge.
Yes.
Maybe not now, maybe not later, but definitely later.
Yes. And you've got a whole system going. So the incubator comes out early. That's going to be good for this combo.
Right.
That's going to let it
For
start
sure.
ticking up. And I have not scored anything yet, so you're actually looking in a good spot.
I'm okay. I need a Djinn soon. I also really want a Grimoire.
Yeah.
I don't have to have a Grimoire per se, but I want it.
Yeah.
I want it bad. It makes the combo way better, and it makes it a lot easier to get because you don't have to worry as much about memory issues.
There's a firmware updates.
I like that agenda a lot. 4 counters in our Titan is insane.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Markiel is just like, okay, I'll take 14 money.
It's a true story. So at the end of my turn, I'll use a counter to advance. After scoring that, and then at the start of your turn, now, of course, you wouldn't want to spend a counter on it until the end of your opponent's turn, just in case they do end up running somewhere and you want to use it mid-run. So I held off and did it at the end of turn only.
So I played an Origami and then played I've Had Worse. You know it's a combo deck when you're running Origami.
Yeah, once you see Origami, the game has changed. It's try to get things out of the remote as much as you can, but blackmail in the discard pile, blackmail potentially in your hand.
Or same old thing.
I just want to bluff it out. I want to try to get you to waste those blackmails.
Origami, I've Had Worse, draw.
Yeah, that's when you know. If there ever was a signal in Netrunner, this is it. Combo deck ahead.
Ahoy!
Brace for impact.
Now, what's your ultimate game plan here? You're still trying to get those blackmails out of
So
archives?
right now, I'm still sitting on that Chronos. I think I just drew into my Trickle Light. I want to get one more blackmail in and then get Chronos score with the Trickle Light. That's the thing that I'm looking for here.
It makes sense.
And then I feel like you have to dig for your last blackmail, and I have to hope that you don't find it. And I just start trying to score out of that remote.
It's a very valid strategy, I think. And about here is where I realize I have not seen a Djinn or a Duggars.
Yeah, we're checking archives hard here. It's like we got one blackmail, just making sure. First is draw there. And man, you're so good with click trackers. I'll get there.
It took a lot of personal shaming and punishment to force myself to use them. Ever since I saw a video of myself taking 5 clicks in one turn, I was like, no, I can never do that again.
Never again.
And then sometimes I still do it. But I try really hard to keep track of everything.
Man, you can see how much my economy's off here with basically not relying on commercialization and stacking up big ice with these advancement counters.
So click 1 was draw for me. Surprise. Or click 2 was draw as well. Draw.
You're drawing like a man.
And this goes back to what we were saying in an earlier game. You got to draw.
You do. You have to draw. An incubator on 2 virus counters is already getting a little bit
scary.
worrisome.
It's scary.
You play a medium here, and all of a sudden things start happening.
If I play a Hive Mind here, it's like boom, 3 counters on everything. Which is ultimately going to be the combo.
Hive Mind, medium, blackmail. I mean, you could just do a small variant here, and it could be the game. I mean, that's the thing about these kinds of situations.
I need to find mediums first.
You need to find mediums. Or find Djinns. Not Erickson.
Ideally, my first click is to mass install medium Hive Mind.
Woo!
Which will also give me a click because of autoscriptor.
Yep.
And then I surge the Hive Mind blackmail R&D.
That's insane.
And then showing off R&D is the plan. Blackmailing HQ.
Blackmailing HQ, which is a crazy play,
by
the way.
I know.
I was like, there's no way. And I've got one agenda, one Cronus protocol in hand, and there it goes.
Yeah, this is
I was like, Once you use the blackmail, it's like, all right, he won't pull it, and then I'll just trick of light it. Oh my gosh.
Now, my thought process here is you haven't done anything for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You might have 2 or 3 agendas. I'm going to have to discard some cards. I'm not drawing the things I need to draw. Let's just do it. See what happens.
Yeah, man.
It's probably a mistake.
And so my entire game plan has now gone out the window.
Mm-hmm.
2 blackmails out. I assume you have a good bit of recursion. I don't have a way to get ice up.
Joke's on you, though. I have a deja vu.
As it turns out, the joke is on me. You have 1 deja vu in your deck, which I found out later on. And that's going to explain a lot of behavior out of me. Like, I'm basically going to now try to bluff a 3rd blackmail or some recursion out of that remote. That's my best bet. I'm so worried about an install advance twice play there. I'm worried about any kind of agendas over there. I'm going to just have to give you another 1-pointer, yeah.
Yeah, which is good for me because it's going to give me time to set up a little bit more.
Yeah. I would have loved an Atlas at any point. That's the thing. We both played these Titan decks and didn't really see Atlas ever. And that's... I don't know what the difference is. I mean, in NBN, I see Astroscript every single game. But in Titan, I have yet to see an Atlas, like, when it was relevant.
Yeah, it's hard. I've seen them plenty of times, but the runner's usually stealing them.
Yeah. Because Trick of Light's in hand, you know? It's like, well, I can score anything.
I do know. And it's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's like, I just want the stinking Atlas. Give it to me.
Using a counter, because why not?
Because commercialization's why.
Commercialization for a hedge fund, that's all right.
Yeah. If it wasn't for that, you should not have used that counter.
Yeah.
But it was for that. So, boom.
Just want to get a card out.
Incubator goes up to 3, which is even scarier.
Yeah, it's getting to a problem now.
I drew a Jin finally. 30 cards later.
Jin coming out is there's the
Autoscriptor.
Autoscriptor, yeah. Cool to see that card given happening. Jin comes out, get a click back, free Jin install, unbelievable. And now that that's set up, I gotta you gotta purge. Even just a Jin for medium, install medium, move 4 counters over.
Yep.
I can't have that. You could have your 3rd blackmail in hand, you know?
Scoring hostile. Incubator goes up to 4.
Ooh, really, really. So right now you could go for a medium run if you have a blackmail.
Right. Which I don't.
You don't have one in hand.
I do have a deja vu, so I could get one. I think at this point I was thinking about that, but I ultimately decided to just stick with the plan.
Yeah, because you'd have to draw, install, deja vu,
blackmail.
So you'd have to trash to move the counters. So take a click off Incubator to move the counters.
Yeah, but whenever I install the medium, I'll gain a click.
Yeah, that's right. Dang, that's crazy. What an awesome deck.
It's a good card. It's very niche.
And so you can't make an unsuccessful run at this point, or the autoscriptor goes away. Is that right?
No.
When you make an unsuccessful run?
No, I don't think so.
You've probably just never done it in this deck. It's impossible.
I'm pretty sure that's... I don't know. It could be. It's very easily could be. I'm pretty sure it just stays there, though.
Stays there forever?
Yeah.
No downside. Just a free click on install?
There might be. I don't know. I don't think so.
I just run blackmail. I don't have to worry about this nonsense.
I just make successful runs, man. Calm down.
There's another sure gamble. Boy, you got some cash.
10. Not that many.
And there's a medium. Well, things are really scary now. Now you got to purge.
Yeah, I agree.
You got to purge. And even then, it's not awesome.
I'm fine with it if you purge. It's just giving me more time.
Because now you don't want to blow it until you have your hive mind.
I'm not going to blow it until I have my hive mind. And I have my hive mind in my hand, by the way.
But I'm looking at like a 5-6 card medium run, depending on what happens. 7.
It's not untrue.
Could get 1 medium run, 1 showing off. I don't know. You could install an eater. I don't know what you're doing. You could start keyholing me. I don't think you're going to do that.
No. But it's a threat. It's possible.
Same old thing. Pop the incubator. And then blackmail that thing. Blackmail that R&D. There's a lot of good stuff happening here, man.
5 counters on the incubator.
Well, there's the install advance twice. That's the dream we've been waiting on.
I want it bad, Steven.
Yeah,
I just know this is a 3-pointer.
If it's a 3-pointer, I completely lose if you steal it, because then you just medium in next turn. It doesn't even matter if you get the incubator. You just start building that up and make it happen. It's really tough. But I'm also remember trying to bluff that last blackmail out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't honestly remember if this is a real agenda or a fake agenda.
We'll see.
It's unbelievable how safe this actually is without me having any knowledge that it's safe. You know what I mean? Draw first click. You do have that deja vu, though. Second click is going to be... And who knows, maybe that's a cerebral or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think it is, but I don't know.
Deja vu. Well, there it is for the blackmail.
I'm shuffling my archives. My heap, I should say.
That's supposed to be illegal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I realized I was doing it, and I was like, wait, this is not my deck.
I could have pushed for a DQ there, but...
You were gracious enough.
You were gracious enough to let it go.
It doesn't matter yet, but I imagine we'll see something eventually, like play the top.
There's the blackmail. And it was just a hostile, so it was a bluff after all.
That's fine. The more points I score now, the less points I have to score off of the big dig.
Yeah, so I'm feeling okay here. So we got a deja vu out of hand. Maybe there's another Kronos.
I feel like you're going to purge this turn.
Oh, absolutely.
Origami gaining a click.
Yeah, you
and then Katie.
You've got to purge. I mean, and maybe there's a case to be made for you making a six card medium access there.
It's tough.
It's hard not to take it, but you know you've got the game if you just wait. I think that's the hard part about it.
If that's a 3-pointer and you assume I don't have my tool to get in there, which I'm now out of blackmails.
Yes. And me being on 5 is insane in this deck, because it's an Atlas away.
Yeah. I can't let you have a 3-pointer at that point. I can, technically, but I don't want that at all.
Look at all that face-down ice.
Yep.
Executive Boot Camp looks real good here.
Yeah. If this deck gets any sort of traction.
I think Constellation Ice really likes the Boot Camp. I think it really does.
Yeah.
Because you can just get it rezzed and then move those counters off to something else and not have to wait around.
Oh, and it's still reduced for the...
Yeah, it is. Okay, here's the Sea-Source.
And right here, my heart is jumping because I have a Hive Mind in my hand.
Yep. That's right.
I don't want you to discard my Hive
Mind.
Mind.
See, because at this point, we know it's combo time, so I think it's just Scorch out 4 cards.
Yep. What you're going to do. And then I think that you trash Katie is the correct move.
Now, if I have another Scorch here, this game is over.
It is, but you don't.
But I don't.
Let's be real.
Not at all. And we're trashing Katie. So basically, this is the slow the combo. Did I get the Hive Mind? I missed the one Hive Mind? Yeah. Oh my goodness, that is insane.
I have a clone chip, so it's ultimately...
That's awesome, fine. Though. That is awesome.
But I do have 6 counters on that incubator now.
Yeah. You've got to be tempted to use it here.
Well, I don't have enough money to use it.
That's true. And you don't have the blackmail to get in.
Mm-mm. So this is not the turn.
So now Tim investigating how this combo is going to continue to gain some steam.
It hurts my soul that you trashed my Katie there.
Yeah.
If you didn't trash Katie there, this game's very different, I think. Because then I go for combo here. Or at least a version of it. A small mini combo.
I would have settled for the second Scorched, if I'm being honest.
Well, yeah. Of course you were.
And you leave this tag forever. It's awesome. That tag is there indefinitely.
I eventually draw some I've had horses.
From Sea-Source. And I actually thought in this deck I had 3 Scorch. I only ran 2.
which is hilarious.
Which is the beauty of building the deck the night before.
I think that we were talking before one of these games, and I was like, yeah, you're either running 3 Scorch or none.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, man. Ugh. Nervous laughter. So you draw a card, or a few cards, and you really want to install to make use of that scripter, but money's tough.
Yeah, money is tough. Yep, just 4 draws.
And even a double trick of light here looks good too.
Purging.
You like that purge motion?
It's like a force purge.
These are not the virus counters.
So at this point, I'm feeling bad.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. It feels like it got off a little too slowly there at the start.
You just drew a mass install?
I guess it's not good to say got off a little too slowly at the start. That's fair for all of our viewers.
Darwin,
there's Darwin. Okay, so now we see another piece of this, which is the whale that can get into anything.
Because
so you don't
it has
need blackmail.
8 counters. You're right. Or however many you move to Hive Mind.
So this is this, would you say, a secondary plan?
Well, it's how you get the showing off to work.
Okay.
So it's like part of the primary. It's the secondary of the primary.
If you were to tell me I could play a deck that ran Darwin and a card called Showing Off a couple of years ago, whenever Netrunner started, I would say, I'm in forever.
Only if you knew that Darwin was a whale with 4 legs.
Yes, that's true. All right, so install another card in the remote. Does that make you nervous?
No.
Could be a...
It does, but it doesn't.
Could just be a raw Atlas.
It's tough.
Could be a double trick of light play for the 5 advance.
Mm-hmm. Which is not bad. It really all depends on what that ice is at the end of the day.
Draw into another Djinn there, not exactly what you need.
And this is an example of when you should know your deck. So right now, I'm digging for a Deja Vu that doesn't exist because I want another blackmail. And I don't have one.
Well, it was actually the beautiful decision because it made me think he's digging for another blackmail or another Deja Vu. So I can't install anything in that remote.
What is that? Is that Markiel?
Yeah, that's Markiel down there. I was hoping that on the off chance you decided to blackmail it, I would feel awesome. But you didn't.
Now, it's worth noting you forgot to put a counter on that hostile takeover.
It is worth noting. And
Which
Markiel,
could be huge.
Markiel would have got me some cash on that.
3 cash to be exact.
I'm reading it now, thinking, oops.
Oops.
Oops. Just get some money. And the thing is, like, certainly in this match it's different. It's weird because you don't need money. I mean, it's just you're advancing stuff. I mean, it's like...
You need money if I actually run R&D. For real.
Yeah, and I can't go too low or you might just try to sneak in there.
Right.
And now I just can't res ice. Because I'm so poor.
How about my board? It's such a joke.
It's cool, man.
Darwin Incubator, 2 origamis.
It's kind of... It's the true realization of the Anarch combo that has been forming up for the past couple of years.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this will be good in a combo one day. This will be good in a combo one day. Well, everyone, it's that day.
And this deck, Titan really working a lot slower than I was hoping. I don't know if it was just a bad draw this game, or if it's just the nature of how I built it, or the nature of the ID in general. But it might just be like a 3 trick of light,
getting another medium,
3 blue level. I mean, maybe you just tank up. Another medium from that Djinn. Install, get a click back, huh?
Mm-hmm. Maybe. I think I save it for a mass install later.
Man, look at this deck come together.
Yeah, if you want to call it that. Ideally, the combo should have happened by now.
What a keychain, yeah. I have seen and heard that it definitely can happen very soon.
Yeah.
And that's when it feels so troubling.
It generally happens by turn 11 through 14. I want to point out that I still haven't seen the Duckers.
And we're just going to trick a light for an Atlas. That's a big deal.
That puts the pressure on me.
That's a big deal, especially with you having a tag. If I draw into my third Scorch that I don't have... See, I think you got to have 3. You got to have 3. And now you're doing the kind of math that
you don't want to see.
Only a disaster, can be following this kind of math. Separating credits, looking at a pile of cards in your hand. Incubator with 4. You got a medium already out. Basically, you're saying, do I have enough money, right? You need what, 1 blackmail at this point? You need your final blackmail?
I think I've played all 3 blackmails already, haven't I? Have I not?
I think it's only 2.
2?
Yeah. Because I was honoring that third one really hard.
I think you're right, actually, now that you say that.
Deja vu'd for the last one, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Which makes even harder sell that I have recursion.
Yeah, right?
Oh, I love it.
With that many cards in hand, it's like there's a blackmail, or there's a deja vu, or there's a same old thing in there. There's a mass install. This is bad. This is when the heart sinks. Install in the Hive Mind.
Gain and a click.
Installing the medium. Who's that? Over the another origami?
Origami, yeah.
Moving the clickies over. So everything on the board now has 5 virus counters.
Mm-hmm.
That means medium run is at 11 cards right now. And there's a blackmail. The final one to R&D.
And I'm seeing 11 cards here.
13, yeah. Or is it 11? So each
5,
medium
10,
has 6
11.
counters on it right now?
So 6 plus 5 is 11. Yep, 11 cards.
11 cards.
This is my turn. This is where I am. And you use the Atlas counter to get a 3-point.
Use the Atlas to get a 3-point agenda out of the deck.
Which is what I want, ultimately.
I've got a few in hand.
I would prefer it to be in there, but I'd rather you spend the Atlas counter on that than any number of other things.
This was a really tough one for me because I do have 1 punitive in the deck, and I believe I had a Scorched in hand at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so my hope was that, of course, you would score like 3 points, and then I could punitive Scorch or do something like that. But had to just not lose, basically. And I thought, if this whiffs, I think I'm safe.
Yeah, and that's fair. It's very valid. Because next turn you're purging.
Yes.
If I don't win.
1 card.
Just pile of cards.
2 card. 3 card. 4 card. 5 card.
Cheater. DQ.
Yeah, total DQ there. 6 card. I thought you gave me the agenda nod. 7 card. Get a firmware. 8 card. 9 card. 10 card. There's the Atlas.
I guess that was 11 cards.
No way. Oh, dude, we just reversed the order on R&D. Did you see that? Oh my goodness, that is insane. That is crazy, man.
It's fine. It's random. I just was thinking backwards for the rest of the game.
Man, that is nuts. That is nuts.
That's really funny.
Yeah, note to self. 11 card medium run. Don't let that happen.
Now you're checking to see how many blackmails are in archives.
All
now.
of them are in archives.
I should say. I always want to call it archives.
And I realized I couldn't disorganize your discard pile, even though you were shuffling it. I was like, I've got to keep that nice for him.
Yeah, hopefully one day that's actually relevant, and we'll feel like we did it all for a reason.
All for a reason, yeah. I don't know. I wish they would just strike that one down. That's too much bookkeeping for old Stevie.
First Duggars.
There it is. Well done. And there it goes. All right, so all the blackmails are gone.
The Duggars in the bottom of the discard pile.
This is getting sloppy, my friend. There's 1 deja vu in the discard. There's 3 blackmails. And I've got nothing but 3-pointers in hand.
You're considering not purging. I remember thinking that you're crazy for thinking about not purging.
Yep. But you got no money.
I'll gain 3 credits.
I think I can...
And then run R&D.
I don't even know that Darwin... Like, I forget what's over there. I think there's a couple of... Like an Enigma and like an Ice Wall or something.
Then I'm in.
So it's just like, I don't know.
Seeing a lot of cards.
Yeah, that's the big question mark here. Yeah, you got to purge that.
Mm-hmm.
Mandy.
Who's Mandy?
Purge it up. Man, you're on 6 here?
Yep.
Ugh. Like, you can't even bluff anymore. Like, there's nothing I can do. I don't know how I'm going to score agendas. Like, at this point, it's...
I've used 0 recursion.
Hold on to a couple Trick of Lights and try to score out a 3-pointer. I think maybe that's the best bet. I've got to draw into both my Trick of Lights and then get something on the table for 1 turn without it getting checked.
And I've only used 1 recursion card so
Only
far.
1 deja vu.
So you're feeling bad about that, those odds.
Yeah, I don't like this. I feel like this one's in the toilet here.
So that's an Orion in front of your hand that's advanced 4 times, right?
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Purging it up.
Correct decision.
Purging it up. All right, so what happens now?
My game gets really weird.
Yeah, things are different now. I've got 7 credits. You've got none. We've got 2 bad pud. You got a tag. Well, might as well draw some cards.
When in doubt, draw some cards. There's a Duggars, look like.
Sometimes with new decks, too, it's really fun because, like, you draw because you don't know what's in there. It's like, I wonder if I could see something that would help here. It's not that I know something could help. You're on Archives.
Checking Archives.
Absolutely the correct choice. You may as well see, and I got to thinking, man, what if I just put a 1-pointer in there?
Not thinking.
Yeah, just like, and there's all the ice just sitting around not doing anything.
All that in the run. Gone.
And that, keep in mind, pay attention to this, dear viewers, because this is going to come back to haunt me. I basically discarded all of my ice throughout the entire game.
Because he thought it was pointless.
I thought it was pointless. I had a couple in the runs. I had like a barrier, an ice wall or 2, and it might matter. It just might matter.
It might come up here in a little bit. So I'm feeling very disheartened right now.
Yeah, it's kind of, you had your moment and then it didn't work.
I'm just like, how do I
Good
win
odds,
this game
pretty
now?
Good odds.
This game is hard at this point for me.
You definitely know how. You just get accesses.
That's how you do it.
As many and as randomly as possible.
And I'm still not on new cards of R&D yet. Close. Yeah. Closer.
Yeah.
But, so that's not the avenue to go yet. The more you draw, though.
The more I draw.
The sooner that moment comes.
Whatever card I needed, I'm sure it was actually in the bottom of that stack. And I screwed myself out of it.
You're still digging for Scorch, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Which is comical.
Well, it's like, so you gotta...
On both of our parts,
yeah,
that's comical.
You gotta think about the position. It's like, I don't feel like I can install anything.
Right, because of all my blackmail recursion.
I can't install anything because of blackmail recursion. I can't get rid of the bad pub. My best bet here is probably Trick of Light into Atlas, and then go get a hostile takeover.
Yes.
That is, I think, the best line. So I'm looking for a Trick of Light here. And we're digging for either Trick of Light or Scorched Earth to try to get a double Scorch here. And both are reasonable.
Yeah, I agree.
But I would say for the purpose of demonstration, as far as the game is concerned, I think that game technically goes to Valencia at the point of that medium run. I think most of the time that is a game-winning win right there.
Yeah. And at this point, I know that you still have that 3-pointer in your hand.
Yes, without a doubt.
Which is interesting to me, because I want in.
I want... Here's the deal.
I want it more.
I want in. Boy, there's some crazy tricks now with like
Oh,
virus
I love
breeding
it. It's
ground
so
and hive
fun.
mind, keeping it stocked.
Well, it's worth noting, virus breeding ground, you can only move to a card with viruses.
That's true. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, it would do nothing for me here.
That's a little known thing. It would help Darwin out a
It
little
would
bit.
help Darwin.
You've had worse. I'm not sad to see that. I think to myself, man, that little meat damage would be just fine.
Yeah, but I mean, I know you only have 2 squash.
Do you know
No,
that?
I
Did
don't.
you read my blog?
No, I didn't. I didn't know you'd posted it until about game 3. You're like, did you read my blog? No. You were a little overzealous in the timing of your blog.
Yeah. I wanted our viewers at home to follow along with my misery. And it's 3-2 here, so this is your chance to tie the series up.
Yeah.
It's a very important game for you.
This is my last chance. If I lose this game, I'm done.
There goes another auto script into the discard pile, as well as amped up?
Yep.
Another piece to make that combo even worse.
Yep. More clicks is good. I need more clicks.
All right, draw a card. A lot of question marks here. Markiel doing so much work here. That's a bluff gone bad.
You should have rezzed him whenever he spent the Atlas counter.
That's true. Absolutely right.
Breaks even.
Yeah.
But
it's reasonable. I mean, maybe one day you'll just blackmail it just to find out what's down there, you know?
the six pointer.
Maybe Tim's really curious. Yeah, it's a government takeover sitting down there.
Can't
Man,
advance it.
That would be
That'd be awesome, actually.
That would be really
cool.
cool.
That's where you want it, ultimately. I'm not checking it.
You just put it blind at the start of the game and then just don't touch it.
And hope they don't run it. But once ever they don't run it, you're fine.
Man, question marks abound. We're both in very awkward positions here, Tim. Like,
Yeah,
this is like, you feel like you don't have a game. I feel like I don't have a game. Digging for Trick of Light is the best.
Yeah, we're both like running through mud right now.
I don't even know that I have a way to win, is what I'm thinking.
Right, because you think I'm just saving blackmail.
I think you're saving the blackmail, and I have to find my one Atlas into my, one hostile, I think, is left.
Yeah.
So if any of that doesn't come to fruition before you get some kind of pieces going again, I mean, you could even just, like, run R&D with blackmail and see a card. And then the next time it happens, if you have more recursion, which is going through my head,
right,
do it again.
Yeah. And if I had more recursion, that's what I would be doing. Which, spoiler alert to everyone at home, I've made a couple changes to this deck since then.
A little more blackmail, right?
There's a little bit more about blackmail. Just a smidge.
I'm just wondering, I mean, if I'm Waylon coming into a tournament right now, I would be tempted with Elizabeth Mills. She's hard to include, though. Like,
I think witness tampering is probably the
think that's a better
choice.
answer. Yeah.
Just because you can get rid of 2
Yeah.
now, which is helpful in this matchup, and then also after you score a couple hostiles.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Totally fair. And that's just an operation?
Yeah.
It's like 4.
Double. 4 cost double. Remove 2 bad publicity.
Boy, that's big.
Yeah. And locations aren't super popular right now, so Elizabeth's secondary ability is not super great. If you're playing Blue Sun, Elizabeth makes more sense, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
But even then...
Pick her up, for sure. Yeah, witness tampering. But it's like, can you spend like 2 card slots-ish on...
I think you can.
If you're on an executive boot camp, you can probably put 1 Mills in.
Yeah.
And go search for it if you need to.
That's fair.
I think that's fine.
But right now, 1 Mills wouldn't do anything for you.
Nope. Not a thing, not a thing.
Yeah, actually, it's really fun. I'll just have to beat him up in something else.
You got 4 credits?
Yeah.
Boy, hard choices being made here. I can't even give you a single point, Tim. This is like...
Nope, it's the game if you do.
This is very difficult.
Running through mud, like I said.
Now, if you were to tell me you didn't have any more recursion...
Which I will not do.
It would be a lot easier.
Trying to slip one by me there?
Had the old chess rules out. Yeah, put 1 in.
I think I have to check it.
Am I going to install over the top is the question.
Okay.
Yep. Jacko for 2. Really trying to find that Atlas or Trick of Light. I don't remember if either. I don't have the Atlas. I may still be digging for that card, or maybe even for Trick of Light too. And there goes some cards.
I'm just so disheartened right now.
And there goes the 3-pointer. Even is going out of hand.
Yeah,
probably. So
you're getting rid of it. Guess what my first click's gonna be?
Draw.
Run archives.
Dude, and you're looking like you're low on deck here.
I am low on deck. All 50 cards are almost gone.
That's impressive. Let's hope there's no levy.
Advancing
Starting to build
Darwin.
that Darwin up, man.
That's my only shot.
That actually is important. That turns ice walls off right now.
Yep. And that's the goal.
So Darwin gets a counter. That's good. First click is draw.
It's a Parasite.
Nice.
Good.
And that's good mid-run clone chip, right? Like that's your, that's the good thing about how you have built this deck, how this deck has functioned. And I know Joe had a lot to do with kind of the genesis and the tweaking of this deck as well. You guys have put together something really good. It has a lot of those like just in case cards so that you're guaranteed. You're running HQ here, and there's a swarm. 4 subroutines, each saying lose a program or pay 3 credits. And
I can pay 1.
You can break one of them. So I'm going to get 3 programs off the board. That's great for me. I was very happy about that.
Yeah, Swarm. Gives you bad publicity, though.
I was thinking you might still have some weird combo-y tricks. And we're going to trash all the dudes. So that feels great, and you keep going. And there's an ice wall.
Bink.
Which I'm thinking, okay, yeah, that'll stop you.
Autoscripter should have trashed there, by the way.
Oh, yeah. So true. New cards, man. Everyone out there watching gets to see what real testing actually looks like, which is, it's really...
Lots of mistakes.
Really dirty and sloppy as you play these decks for the first time.
It's fine, though.
I was telling, I think it was Zach, I brought these 3 Wayland decks in. This is the first time I even played a Wayland deck before.
Yeah,
Let alone
me too.
all these new IDs and
It's not true.
ISOs. And
yeah, how was that for you? How was your Wayland experience?
Awesome. It was awesome. It's
Do you
not
feel-
dissimilar from MBN.
No.
It feels very at home, but
Did
it's just
it-
a different vibe.
Do you feel like it made you a better player?
Absolutely. Yeah, I would suggest, I really like diving into the game, very, very faction focused, and I feel like I got to a point where I just couldn't get any better if I didn't expand a little bit. And this was a perfect opportunity. You challenged me to this, and it was the trick. So you're going to clone chip in a Hive Mind. Comes in with 1 counter on it. Man, if you didn't have that auto scripter, I don't think it would matter that much.
No.
And then we're going to Parasite the Ice Wall to kill it. Boy, that is just a great use of Hive Mind there. You've got to love that card.
And then I'm running it.
Running again, all you need is a single point. And I remember haven't been able to score anything. Luckily, I had Jackson earlier. I think this is just a game winner.
I have mine trashes to Swarm.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Oh, baby.
You got a few accesses going on here.
This is the game that I've decided to play. And at this point, you have an agenda in your hand,
I have
don't you?
1 agenda. I have a 1-pointer in my hand, yep. And you're coming back for 1 more.
Oh, yeah, I am. This is my plan. I'm going to run it.
You got to get accesses. That's a good thing to do. Nailed it right there. All right. So I made it out alive. I've still got a 1-pointer in hand, and I just need a piece of ice to end the run over HQ, really. And you know where it is, Tim?
In archives.
It's all in archives.
Yeah, during this game, I ran archives several times just to keep you honest, but I noticed that there was an absurd amount of ice over there, which is very good for me, ultimately, in this situation.
Yeah. And I had a really troubling situation, too, because I had 3 agendas in archives. I think a couple of 1-pointers. And I didn't want to use Jackson to get more ice, because then you just win on archives. So I was in a really bad spot, drawing with Jackson, trying to find just some kind of in-the-run something. Your deck
Trying to remember the
almost
numbers
gone.
of what copies you put in the vice and things like that.
Yeah. This may be the weirdest game of Netrunner I've played, and I played it poorly. I think both of us. You had great backup plan here, like as far as what you wanted to do to actually give yourself a shot at winning this game. I don't think there's a better line. And I am just
tough.
stuck on no ice.
The turn that I parasited that ice wall, I was considering going to R&D, but I just knew, without a doubt, that it was ice wall.
Yeah.
On R&D that I couldn't break.
It was.
And I couldn't parasite either.
It absolutely was.
It was
9
tough.
credits is a very important number to
Yeah.
be at for me. Install a card. Is that a bluff? What is that? Am I just trying to get in your head there, Tim?
It's probably Mark Yale.
Hey, look at this over here. Don't pay attention to my hand. Trick a light. All right, so we're just going to score a hostile takeover to gain 7. So I get the 1-pointer out, and I trash another card, which I think is an agenda, leaving my hand clean. I only had 2 agendas at that point. So I was trying to find a way to get them all out and still have 6 cards, etc. And it worked out. So I'm on 5 now, which means an Atlas and a Trick a Light away from victory, Mr. Bones.
But now there's 2 Trick of Lights in your archives.
There are.
And you're not shuffling more Trick of Lights back in with Jackson, are you?
Not a chance, because right now all these 3 agendas are going back into R&D, and it is getting stacked right now.
Yeah. So at this point, I realized that you have to find the ice, or it's going to be tough.
Yeah, really, really tough.
Because you have to find the 1 Trick of Light left.
Yep.
Before I get the random accesses for the agendas in your hand.
And I need to make sure to have enough money to res ice on R&D to keep you away.
Right. Which
So hostile was the best way to do that and still be able to get an agenda out of hand. R&D is loaded with agendas. I believe my hand is clean now, but you've got to think, like, this is a great shot at HQ right here.
Yeah, I'm checking R&D.
Yeah, you got to check it. Keep me honest on it. There's the ice wall. Man, never has 4-bad
Bonk.
pub done so little. Yeah. Bonk. See that autoscripter. See you later.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I don't think I
in
installed
HQ.
another program.
See nothing?
I think I'm going to amped up here. Boom. Taking a brain damage. Game 3 clicks.
There's Grimoire. Not really mattering too much now. Run an HQ. And I think you're just going to run here until you can get it. There's a Scorched.
And I'm tagged.
You're tagged. And how much you got the brain damage, so you're going to have 4 cards at the end.
And I got 4. Come on, Tim. Go back in there. You know you want to.
Last try. You can check that Mark Yale over there.
We're going to do my blackmail recursion tricks here.
Also, did not get a counter on that last hostile, I don't think, either. New identities are hard, guys. But that would actually get me a reasonable amount of money over the game. Taking the brain damage.
Dane Brimage.
And now, unbeknownst to me, like, that remote is so safe, it's stupid.
Oh, it's the safest place on the board.
I could just score out anything. And now here's a weird choice. So I just had the mandatory draw. We're going to go ahead and use Mark Yale. Oh, I did get the token.
Okay, that's good.
All right, good.
I'm glad to see that.
So we've got it the second time. That's called learning. We're seeing it happen. So I spin it, gain a credit, and then...
You gain 3 credits.
Gain 3 credits, technically, because 2 for using the agenda counter, and then 1 for using the agenda counter. 2 for trash and Mark Yale, so that's nice. A little 5 credit boost.
Dude, your company is so blackmailed right now. Or not blackmailed, bad publicity.
Oh, man, yeah.
Like,
They're like, have you guys
seen
heard
what the Titan Transnational?
You guys heard about Titan? Seriously?
They're killing seals.
We've heard Mark Yale's over there. We don't know what he's doing, but he's making a ton of money. Golden parachutes, man.
Gold-plated parachutes.
So now you would think, so I clear out Markiel, I might just go for the install advance twice and say blackmail or lose.
You know I have blackmail recursion, though.
But I know
I've been saving it.
You've been holding it forever. Now, one other option I do have is to scorch your hand and hope to pull whatever recursion tricks you might have, and then score the agenda out next turn, which I think is ultimately the best bet for me right now. Had I known the 2 scorches, I think that's without a doubt the best choice.
Yeah.
And that's just dumb. Like, that's just the wrong.
Your thought process here is it's in that deck right now.
It's in the deck.
What's crazy is you used an Atlas counter earlier, so you could have looked and saw that it wasn't there.
I know. It's crazy.
But it was there, as far as you know.
It was one of those last minute, well, I guess I cut 1 scorch because I should have Atlas counters for days because it's Titan. It doesn't really work. Didn't really work like that. Don't cut scorches. And so first turn draw. See, that's where I drew the 3-pointer just now. And that becomes a problem.
Yeah. Because now you have 2 agendas in your hand, right?
Yeah, otherwise it was pretty safe. I just had the 1 3-pointer, which means you probably take 4 shots. You still have a great shot at winning that game. Install for 1.
Trying to scare me away, Wooly.
I'm trying to make you think that there's just, like, no way you can access there. But you did the right thing as a runner, and you made me prove it. And I just couldn't prove it, Tim. Because you know what that is? It's that constellation
Nebula.
ice. It's Nebula. It trashes a program. I was like, the last piece of ice that I need. Give me a firewall or something. My goodness. And so I don't res. And so you've got good odds here. See a trick of light. I'm 1 Atlas away from winning this game, Tim. All right, and I'm like, oh, God, he's not coming back in. He's not coming back in. He saw a card. He drew. He's not coming back in. Maybe he'll draw some more. Don't come back in, Tim, please.
Coming
he comes
back in.
Looking for... I've got 2 3-pointers in hand. 3 cards are nothing. And he pulls nothing. Just 1 more miss, Tim. Give me another chance.
Am I going to do it?
Dude, I was like, oh, dude, he's disinterested. He's sure there's nothing there. I didn't res the ice. He's moving on. Maybe try to find a parasite for that ice wall over there. I don't know what he's doing.
There's no more parasites in that deck, Steven. Come on. There's no recursion for it either.
Oh, man. Look at the consideration. Just don't run it. No. All right, 1 more shot. Just don't pull it. Oh, and he gets it. Unbelievable. So good. There's the Nebula, and unfortunately for my sanity, the Atlas was indeed on top of the deck. Of course it was. Of course.
So you win next turn. You win next turn if I don't.
Oh, goodness, guys. There you have it.
And that's why we play Netrunner right there.
What a game. All right, so Tim and I are 3-3. We decide to pick our favorite ID and play a 7th match, which we're going to take you to. But first, we're going to go to a little post-game commentary with Tim and I. We'll send it over there to those guys. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great Netrunner life, guys.
See you guys in Game 7.
Oh, baby. That was intense,
It was a real
man.
heater of a game there.
That was a rough one. Well, guys, thank you for sticking around through this game. That was a long one. It was interesting.
Lots of things happen.
I'll tell you one thing that I want to first say is, and this is just so important, not even about the decks, is finding a way as the runner to win a game. Which I have to commend you, Tim.
Thank you.
I had no ice towards the end. I had trashed it all. I think there was like 1 firewall left in the deck that could actually stop you, which was a mistake. I was trying to bluff. I was trying to make it look elsewhere. But it was just like, no, I'm going to go where I can get accesses. And you just kept doing it, even after losing everything to that swarm. And
I think that's one thing that I would love to tell new players or newer players. Just stay focused.
Yeah.
Like a lot of players, you trashed my entire rig, the thing I've been building this whole game. I quit.
Yeah.
Because, okay, you win.
Yeah.
But it's just like, keep playing. You don't need programs to win the game.
Don't scoop, man. Never scoop. Because, you could easily just be like, all right, you've got this. But it's like, I didn't. I had to honor those blackmails forever. I was so aggravated when you took that second Cronus protocol. It was just like, it was the one agenda in my hand, and I was scoring it next turn with Trickle Blight. I was like, I'll get him. He's got 2 blackmails in the discard pile. That'll be awesome. Then maybe he never draws his 3rd one, and I can start scoring in remotes. And you sniped it. And it was beautiful. It's a beautiful play. And I was sitting on agendas. This was a bad deck for me. I did not know what to do with it. I did not know how to play it. And it was interesting because you weren't running. So
yeah, it makes the Constellation Ice a little less good.
It makes it different. And, every deck probably has to have an answer to some kind of situation like that. But it was definitely a curious game for me. And I just wasn't prepared mentally, for this kind of matchup. But the medium combo, I mean, you got to say, it was as slow as I've ever seen it.
It was very slow. I didn't see a medium forever. Or not medium, Jin forever.
Yeah.
And I didn't see a Duggars until... Duggars was after the combo had happened.
And we just talked about it in the pregame, like if you saw the beginning of this match, like that's the critical thing. You need a Jin or a Duggars. That's 6 cards. It's a pretty good shot of seeing one of those. Nothing.
I've had worse inject.
Anything you would do differently in this matchup here?
Shuffle better.
Yeah. Change the deck. I know you talked after the match about having a little bit more blackmail pressure.
Yeah, and I would definitely put more blackmail recursion in. I would probably put in 2 same old things and another deja vu.
Yeah.
Because the same old things will also get me showing offs later on. I can discard them early and not never have them.
Yeah.
Not never have them. Yeah. Negatives. But that's the biggest thing I would change. There's a version of it that I was talking to Matt Dawkins about, and it involves 3 diesel and 3 quality time.
Yeah.
And I've been considering tinkering with that just for all of the card draw. Just get set up as quick as possible.
Yeah, which is fair.
Yeah. But other than that, I think it's where it needs to be.
Super solid. Well, my Titan, I'm not sure. I think I would change a lot of things. Markiel, I think, has potential. I think it's okay.
I think he's good in that deck.
Money. This was just kind of the worst deck, I think, as far as focus and like what it was trying to do. And certainly the Valencia matchup doesn't help. But I would be curious to play it against a more standard runner and see. You just look at it on paper though, and it's pretty weak. Like it's just not there. So I think there's more.
What was your influence on this deck?
I think Cronus Protocol is worth exploring. Though,
yeah, I agree.
In a Titan deck. I had 3 Trickle Lights, of course. I had 1 Sea Source because I figured I might have the Atlas counter. Had a couple of Matrix Analyzers, and that was about it.
How many Scorched Earths did you have in this deck?
Only 2. I would definitely go to 3, and I got to say, not Constellation, but Commercialization. I wasn't really digging it here. Yeah. I think we can do better. Even Beanstalk would be better.
Because it's just Constellation Ice, you never really have more than 3 or 4 advancements on it, and that's the most that you want.
Yep.
I don't know that it's worth it.
I didn't have anything out early that I wanted to keep advancing. Like I didn't see a whole lot of that stuff. A Swarm was like the best thing I had. I don't know. I just don't know. So I guess we saw the best use of Swarm in a while. But aside from that, I think you did a really great game. And because we had a tie, the crowd demanded it, guys. We went to a Game 7.
Game 7.
We rolled a die to see who was going to play Corp or Runner. Tim ended up playing Corp. I'm going to play Runner. We chose randomly, kind of secretly, what deck we wanted. And I chose Max because Anatomy is near and dear to my heart, as you might imagine. And you went back to basics with Gagarin. Your best Corp, I think, without a doubt.
I think it was the best Corp.
So we're going to roll to Game 7, guys. The heater, the big match, the big show, the final showdown. 3-3. Tim and I coming into the conclusion of Order and Chaos Fight Night. Let's go there, guys.
It's going to end here.
The pregame report.
It's going to end now.